New Growth Transit is a nonprofit transportation program currently serving 9 counties in west central Missouri. When a rural resident places a call to New Growth, a mobility associate will coordinate with their network of volunteer drivers to provide them with an appointment for round-trip transportation to their destination. Whether they need to get to a grocery store a few blocks away or access specialized medical care halfway across the state, NGT empowers mobility-challenged riders and allows them to continue their lives in their rural communities.
When we go into a rural community, maybe they do have transportation services. They may only run those services from 8 to 3, but if they look at their manufacturing, which is the largest employment in that county, the average shift starts at 7. Another thing we see with the Volunteer Transportation Network is that in these rural communities, a lot of people take time off of work to transport their loved ones to the cities that could be an hour, 2 hours away for specialty services and to check up on the care that they receive. The Volunteer Network is an opportunity to get a safe microtransit on demand ride to those medical providers.
When I first learned about the program, it was kind of like, it can't really be that good that it would really get people where they need to go when they need to get there. And as I got involved with it, it was kind of like, it really does work that way. It really is as simple as, pick up the phone and call.
We're rural communities. We understand the desperation, we understand the challenges, and we're willing to step forth for our neighbor. We believe in community mobility, and we're looking at more the holistic approach. We had to find something that would look at populations and density, and that would identify the needs in areas and help us recruit drivers. And so that's what led us to finding the collaboration with Volunteer Transportation Center out of New York State. And of course, we're nonprofits, so they shared a lot of their processes, they shared their forms, their applications. So, in some respects, we got the franchise for a Volunteer Transportation Network, and we got their years of experience.
As uptake of the program increases, mobility management works to recruit more drivers.
I found out about it kind of by accident. I was in a meeting of the Ministerial Alliance, actually. I had a presentation to do, and Kelly Ost from West Central Missouri Community Action Agency was in that meeting doing a presentation.
We will go to any place that will have us to give talks, presentations. We don't have many marketing dollars, so we go there and talk, hand out our cards, and work at recruiting people. High percentages. Retired people that are looking for something to do, something to give back to their community.
I have been blessed since then to get acquainted with a number of people who really need transportation. They don't have any way to get anywhere on their own. And so that's what pulled me into the program, was the desire to help people, really.
We will email an application to them, and we ask them to fill the application out. We have a background check during training. We go over the manual. We got to have copies of their insurance, registration. Their car has to pass inspection, and we train them, and they are ready to go.
What we're up against when we look at transportation is not density and numbers. We're up against distance. And so while maybe we're only transporting 50 people in that day, and it's not 500 or 5,000, those 50 people are still a large part of the percentage of a town of 8,000. And it's all ages. We transport people from the age of 18 up to 101. And so that's what people need to understand. It's a diversified need. It's not just one age group or one segment. We're always going to have uneven surfaces. We're going to have potholes and we're going to have gravel roads. But that's what we like about rural. Currently, what we're seeing is our average distance one leg is 28 miles. So, and you compare that to what you tend to see in the city and urban regions, which are between 11 and 12 miles one way. If we don't invest in transportation, we're going to continue to let people live in isolation, and our communities are going to continue to shrink. And so it's got to be something that's as important as fixing roads and bridges.
It's ideal for somebody like me who's retired. Doesn't make me a champion, it makes the program the champion, because it exists to help people. You know, you can continue to live in the community that is your home, and we can get you where you need to go when you have a doctor's appointment or a shopping or, you know, other necessary trips.
Federal Office of Rural Health Policy, HRSA, they listened to a very small voice because there's a lot of problems out there. We have got to look at diversified funding. So we always believe that the model that we're developing will be both private and publicly funded. And so it's going to continue to demand private investment. And some of the private funding has been large endowments. We've also had memorial funding. We had an individual that we transported for dialysis. Unfortunately, he passed away, but his family were so touched by the services that our volunteers could offer that they provided us a memorial.
I was told as long as you guys have people donating, they'll keep running.
One thing that I think is unique to the Volunteer Transportation Network is the flexibility, not only in the hours of when they can serve, but additionally in the vehicles that they provide service in. So we see some volunteer drivers that have a truck that they can get down some really choppy dirt roads when they need to, but then additionally they certify and register maybe their wife's Buick. You know, it tends to be more the city vehicle.
We get calls from riders all day, and then we just reach out to the different drivers and see who we can get booked.
They give me information on a tablet, and then I look at the information and I pull it up on the map to find out where it's at so I can guesstimate how long it's going to take me to get from here to there. And then I'll call them and tell them and to introduce myself and to tell them that I can be there at such and such a time to pick them up, to take them to their appointment.
It's an interesting link for an old guy like me to be able to operate in a fairly technological world.
Sometimes a rider will go to the doctor's appointment and then they'll find out after that they have to stop at the pharmacy, and usually they'll put a note in the app that says made stop at pharmacy, and then I can go into the app and kind of add that stop to make sure that the mileage gets accounted for.
Sometimes we hear people's stories about how they haven't been to the doctor in years because they had no way to get there, and so it feels good to be able to finally get them in the places they need to go.
This program gets people to their appointments at a time that's appropriate, rather than having a driver, you know, another program say, well, we can get you there, but we're going to have to drop you off an hour and a half early and won't be able to pick you up till 2 hours late. There's actually a college student that I pick up at Cuddy College, a local college, on Tuesdays. She's pre-med. She's in a program where she job shadows a doctor in the emergency room for a few hours. And she has said to me that if it wasn't for this program, for this New Growth Transportation program, she wouldn't be able to be involved in the job shadow program that she's involved in.
The lady across the street, she's doesn't drive now, and she's had no way of going until this came along, and boy, she's using the service. She likes it. We went to Walmart this morning and she got her some groceries and stuff. And it makes a difference too that I can take them to the grocery store, the beauty shop, the library, places like that they need to go. So it makes it better than just sticking strictly with the doctor's office.
When you figure that it's Kelly and Kenny and 3 ladies taking telephone calls really that are making all this happen with some volunteer drivers, it's just amazing to me that they can do it.
Some drivers will only do rides in their town. We have some that just say, I'll go anywhere that you will send me. And we have some of them that they want the long rides. You know, in our rural areas, to get specialized medical care, it's nothing to drive an hour to 2 hours for that specialized care. I noticed with this program that there's a sense of purpose for the drivers.
It's just gives me a chance to get out of the house, meet new people, and do something for other people, which is what I need to do.
It's not a way to get rich. That's not, the reimbursement helps because it covers my gas and you know, some maintenance expenses on the vehicle.
Drivers and riders build relationships, you know, where they get to know each other.
I kind of consider all of them friends now. Some of them are very talkative, some of them aren't very talkative, but you know, we always try to visit a little bit as we're going, and I think it makes the program more personal to them too, to actually get acquainted with the driver. There's a couple that have gotten to be friends of mine, a husband and wife, who live about 10 miles outside of town. They really love to live out in the country where they live and would rather not have to move. This program makes it possible for them to do that. I go out once a week, I get the wife, I bring her in, she gets her grocery shopping done for the week, whatever other stops we have, get back home. So just the fact that they can pick up the phone, get a ride, I think it's probably life-sustaining to a lot of these people. If they didn't have a program like this, I don't know that they would be able to live in a community like this.
If we're going to make an investment, not only a financial investment, we've got to also make the investment in the relationships of these rural communities to build them back.
But I don't really see a time when I wouldn't do it unless there comes a time when I can't do it. And at that point, of course, I wouldn't. But at that point, I'd become a client, I guess, rather than a driver.